This dress, I think, has been Googled more times than any other look in history. Literally broke the internet when she wore it. So kind of cool to be a part of that history, but I wore it first.
She was one of the most recognizable faces of the 90s, the face of fashion magazines, runways, and iconic campaigns. But behind the covers and catwalks, Amber Valletta was silently fighting a battle that could have ended everything. Her beauty masked a painful struggle with addiction, loneliness, and identity. From a small-town teenager in Oklahoma to a global supermodel and fearless environmental activist, Amber's journey is as raw as it is remarkable. It's a story of glamour, darkness, and redemption. How did she survive the chaos and rise again, stronger, wiser, and more powerful than ever? This is her story. Amber Valletta was born and raised in Tulsa, Oklahoma, a quiet, unassuming city far from the flashing lights of fashion capitals. She grew up like any other small-town girl, full of dreams, but with no clear idea of how drastically her life was about to change. At just 15 years old, Amber was discovered by a modeling scout, and within months, she was thrust into the high-speed, high-pressure world of fashion. By the age of 18, she found herself on a flight to Paris, completely alone. She didn't speak the language, didn't have any connections, and was suddenly navigating the competitive modeling world in a foreign country. She was just a teenager trying to keep up with a whirlwind lifestyle. The glamour was real, but so was the loneliness. Long days at castings, long nights in unfamiliar cities. Amber was figuring it out on her own. Homesick and overwhelmed, she still showed up, graceful, camera-ready, and determined. It was the beginning of something big. She didn't know it yet, but the girl from Tulsa was about to become one of the defining faces of a generation. Everything changed when Amber Valletta met Shalom Harlow. It sounds like a scene from a movie, two young models bonding over a book and a potted plant. But that's exactly how their iconic friendship began. The connection was immediate. They became roommates, best friends, and practically inseparable both on and off the runway. They weren't just working together, they were building something special. Together, they co-hosted MTV's House of Style, where they brought a fresh, fun energy to the fashion scene. Audiences loved their wit, charm, and genuine friendship. One of their most iconic moments came during the 1995 Todd Alden runway show, when Shalom spun playfully in Amber's arms, creating an unforgettable moment of fashion joy. Their bond only deepened over the years. Shalom eventually became the godmother of Amber's son, Odin, a testament to how strong their friendship truly was. Through Shalom, Amber was introduced to Kate Moss. And just like that, a trio was born. The wave trinity, Amber, Shalom, and Kate, took over the 90s fashion scene. Guided by supermodel legends like Naomi Campbell, Linda Evangelista, and Christy Turlington, they brought a new energy to the industry, cool, raw, rebellious. It wasn't just about fashion. It was a sisterhood. A shared journey of fame, freedom, and fierce loyalty. Amber's rise in the fashion world was nothing short of meteoric. She walked the runways for the most elite designers, Chanel, Versace, Valentino, becoming a staple of every major fashion week. Her striking features and unique presence landed her on more than 40 Vogue covers, making her one of the most recognizable faces of her era. She was the face of countless high-end campaigns, celebrated not just for her beauty, but for her ability to embody the spirit of a brand. Amber didn't just wear fashion, she defined it. Her minimalist elegance and ethereal cool set trends across the globe. But while the industry worshipped her image, behind the flawless facade, Amber was quietly unraveling. Her inner world was beginning to crack. Amber's struggle with addiction began shockingly early. She smoked her first cigarette at just 10 years old. By the time she arrived in Europe as a teenage model, she had already been exposed to cocaine and alcohol. In the fashion world of the 90s, drugs weren't hidden, they were practically part of the lifestyle. Late nights, after parties, and pressure to stay thin all fed into the glamorized chaos. Amber started showing up to photo shoots under the influence, numbing pain, masking hangovers with makeup, and pushing through exhaustion with adrenaline. She once confessed, "I showed up to my dying uncle's bedside looking for a place to do another line." That moment of desperation haunted her. Despite having a multi-million-dollar contract, Her addiction nearly destroyed everything. The industry, obsessed with her image, turned a blind eye to her suffering. Praise came easily. Concern did not. Only her mother saw the truth and dared to confront her. By 25, Amber was convinced she wouldn't live past 30. But then, everything shifted. She became a mother. Her son, Odin, became her anchor. The fear of losing herself became a will to survive, for him and for herself. That was the beginning of her fight back, a battle not for fame, but for freedom, healing, and purpose. At 25, Amber Valletta made the life-changing decision to get clean. It wasn't a smooth path. Recovery demanded that she face the shame, guilt, and buried trauma she had long avoided. There were painful truths to confront and deep wounds to heal. But Amber chose life. She chose to be present for herself and for her son. She didn't just recover, she transformed. Instead of hiding her struggles, she began to speak out. She understood that silence breeds shame, and shame keeps people trapped. Addiction thrives on darkness, Amber has said. I try to bring light. Her openness became a beacon for others. She started advocating for recovery, using her voice to break the stigma surrounding addiction. Through honesty and vulnerability, she empowered countless people to seek help, to believe in second chances, and to know they're not alone. Amber's recovery became more than personal, it became her purpose. Just when the world thought it had seen all Amber Valletta had to offer, she surprised everyone again, this time as an actress. In the early 2000s, she stepped off the runway and onto the big screen, determined to prove she was more than a fashion icon. Amber brought a magnetic presence to every role. She starred alongside Will Smith in the romantic hit Hitch, showing sharp comedic timing and charm. In What Lies Beneath, she delivered haunting elegance, and in Transporter 2, she embraced action with fierce energy. On television, her performances in Revenge and Blood and Oil revealed a new side, layered, emotional, and powerful. She brought the same grace, confidence, and intensity that once ruled the catwalk to each scene she performed. Amber's acting journey wasn't just a career shift, it was proof that true talent evolves, expands, and shines in any spotlight. Fashion gave Amber Valletta a global platform, but she chose to use it for something far more meaningful. Deeply passionate about sustainability, Amber became one of the first major models to speak out about the fashion industry's environmental impact. She refused to support brands that ignored eco-responsibility, insisting that beauty should never come at the cost of the planet. Her commitment led to a groundbreaking collaboration with Karl Lagerfeld on a sustainable fashion line, proving that ethics and elegance could walk hand in hand. But Amber didn't stop at the runway. She took to the streets, lending her voice to environmental protests. In one bold moment, she was even arrested, standing firm in her beliefs. Amber isn't just a spokesperson for change, she's a soldier in the fight. I don't just talk about change, she declares, I fight for it. Through her activism, she's redefining what it means to be a model in every sense. Today, Amber Valletta continues to shine on the world's most prestigious runways, Versus, Alexander McQueen, Dolce & Gabbana. She's living proof that true beauty doesn't fade with time, it evolves. Her presence now carries more than elegance. It carries depth, resilience, and lived wisdom. Amber's journey reveals that scars don't diminish us, they define us, shaping strength from struggle and truth from pain. She's no longer just a model gracing magazine covers. She's a powerful advocate for addiction recovery, courageously sharing her story to break the silence and shame. She's a passionate environmental activist, pushing the fashion industry towards sustainability and ethics. And she's a beacon of authenticity in a world obsessed with perfection. Amber Valletta isn't simply walking the runway anymore, she's blazing a path for others to follow. Her legacy isn't built only on fashion, but on the courage to rise, speak out, and live a life with purpose. From a quiet girl in Tulsa to a global icon, Amber Valletta's journey is about far more than magazine covers and fashion campaigns. She faced addiction, confronted her demons, and emerged stronger, using her voice to advocate for truth, healing, and change. She turned her pain into purpose and her fame into a platform. Yes, 40 Vogue covers are extraordinary. But Amber's true legacy lies in how she inspires others to rise above hardship, to speak openly, and to live with courage and authenticity. Amber Valletta isn't just a supermodel. She's a survivor, a mother, a fighter, and a voice the world truly needs. Amber's story is one of beauty, brokenness, and bravery, a journey of rising, falling, and rising again. And it's far from over. Which supermodel from the 90s inspired you the most? Tell us in the comments below. And if you want more powerful stories that go beyond the surface, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell. Because the next icon we feature might just surprise you.